Becoming a game designer seemed so unachievable. It seemed like that's a thing other people do. That's something that has been established. It's hard to get into.
I turned 30 and I said, I want to do something that really makes me happy. And, I play video games every night, and I have played video games every single night since I was a child. There's always been that in the back of my head of how do these things work?
I started really getting into art in elementary school to middle school, and I was experimenting with Photoshop and 3D designing, but I ended up going into college for illustration. In my time at college, rediscovered my love for games through talking with more people in general and getting a wider idea for what the industry actually was. I started to discover that I was really enjoying the process that went into game creation.
So there's a lot of stuff before you get into the game development that's kind of just on paper.
Writing down any sort of ideas, story blurb, a character concept, or a game mechanic. And then from there, it would go into compiling, actually building the setting, whether it's 2D or 3D, in either Unreal or the Unity engine.
A game engine basically is the core of a game. It's got your physics, it has any basics. It's what can get you started creating a game. It's basically a game itself. You go in and you drag your character onto a screen, and you can give that character a skin.
As the last couple of years have changed, the accessibility, putting the tools in the hands of people who normally would not have had accessibility to the tools, has made it that there's been a bit of a boom in actual creating of games. So we're getting all of these different types of games and all of these different places to share these games and share these sort of experiences.
You have Ubisoft kind of creating the same game in all of their spheres. You had Call of Duty coming out every year. First person shooters, things like that. So the thing about indie games is that all of a sudden you have people playing exploration games, and you have people playing really thought-provoking games and puzzle games, and these are games that you want to play with other people and you want to share with them.
What indie games bring to the table is definitely more representation for groups who are normally not seen. They tend to be stories that you don't hear the AAA companies doing, either because they don't fit into what the mass fandoms for those companies go for, and they tend to just be more personal experiences.
This is your time and this is your dedication, and eventually this is your soul that you're putting into a project, a creative, and you're allowing people to experience that.
A lot of my games focus on getting the player to understand a character's experience. I focus a lot on the LGBT community and how we tell our stories. The end goal for the types of games and the games that I want to create is I want to create something that someone can see and feel seen, where they see themselves in the character.
Initiating memory deletion procedure.
Pascal not gonna remember me either? This is really sad.
The overwhelming emotion that you can feel about something that you have spent hours on, and you have been the catalyst of why things are happening in that environment. I want to create games that make people feel. There's a lot of good that can be done with that technology, and it's more than just sitting in front of a screen with a controller in your hand. If you're interested in creating a video game, the information and the resources are there for you to be successful. So I always say just get in there and try it.
Always keep creating, always keep writing down your ideas, because you never know, some idea that might just seem like a throwaway line could become the structure of your next big project. For as much passion as I see in my students, it drives me to keep doing what I work. For as much inspiration, it is contagious. Just seeing them have those eureka moments where suddenly everything they've been working on fits and they have something that they're proud of is something that I've started to become proud of as myself, because it shows that I'm helping the new generation of people who are going to become storytellers. Drop this down, hit play.